What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sports Talk. So today we're going to be talking about just some tips to help you get a better night's sleep. Because I think a lot of people, especially athletes themselves, basically everyone, but as an athlete, you've got to make sure you are getting enough sleep for the day to be able to perform. And the funny thing is, I find a lot of athletes are people who are actually underslept, and they're just people who can grind through. They have that mentality where it's like, fuck it, I'm just going to keep going, I'm going to get up, I'm going to have my caffeine, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to move me forwards. And funnily enough, even though I'm giving you sleep tips today, I had a shitty sleep last night, and then guess what? I pumped some caffeine this morning, too much, but I make sure that obviously it's not going to fuck me up for the rest of the day. So there's going to be some things I'm going to share with you guys. Firstly, having a good night's sleep starts with the morning of, right? Starts with this morning, setting yourself up for a good day. And that means getting some natural light on your eyes or on your body. So we have our internal circadian rhythm, and if we don't actually get light in the morning, it's actually hard for us to give our body a signal that it's actually daytime. So ideally what you want to do as that sun rises, try and get some sun on your eyes or on your skin. So don't wear sunglasses, go for a walk outside. Obviously don't look directly into the sun, but try and get something where you're going to get some sun on your eyes, because this is actually quite important overall for to help with that circadian rhythm, right? So along with that, with that first thing in the morning, if you can't, get yourself something like I've got a light ring. If you guys can see if you're watching the YouTube video, you can see the ring in my eyes here because it's obviously bright. I have that shining on me every morning, and you want to get you can actually get these things called SAD boxes, which is basically seasonal affective disorder. So basically, when people are in winter, there are people who have higher rates of depression and things like that. And so getting yourself a light box, because one of the reasons could be that you're actually just not getting enough sunlight, is getting a light box, right? And they should be, I think it's like 10,000 lux is what it should be if it's off the top of my head. And then having this in the morning will actually help with that signaling to your brain to say it's daytime and just getting that sunlight, because people don't realize that's actually quite important for our overall health, and again helping with our circadian rhythm. So it's the first thing you want to do. Secondly, caffeine is actually a Zeitgeber too. And a Zeitgeber is basically a timekeeper. So having caffeine in the morning will actually help your body to be like, oh, it's daytime, it's time to start moving around, and your body will slowly start to be waking up. And so you can do this together. Going to get a coffee in the morning and going to get some sun on your skin and on your eyes. So that'll be a great way to be able to start with your daytime routine overall. Now, from this, we want to make sure going into the day that you're regularly exercising if you can at the same time, because this is another thing that gives your body routine. The more routine you have, give or take, when I say give or take, like you don't need everything to be specific on the exact day, on the exact time, but within a 3-hour gap. So like if you're exercising, usually you'll exercise at 8 a.m. Between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. would be good, all right? So that 3-hour gap. You don't want to throw off your exercise and do later on, because that can actually shift your body's rhythm forwards or shift your body's rhythm backwards type of thing, all right? So trying to keep exercise routine quite regular is what I'm trying to say. And then also, if you are someone who exercises in the afternoon, seeing if exercise itself is actually something that's keeping you up. Because some people, when they exercise in the evening, especially myself, you're hot, you're more awake, you're more alert, and then your body doesn't want to go to sleep. So that can actually be an issue, an inhibitor at the end of the day that's not fun, and keep you awake longer if you are quite hot. So that's something to also be aware of. Now obviously if you're playing a sport, you can't really decide when your training is going to be if you're dedicated to an afternoon training session, but then trying to cool off afterwards would be important. So on the exercise side of things, if it's in the afternoon, after that, try and go for a cold shower, okay? Because what that'll actually do is it'll dump your core, heat from the extremities into your core temperature, and it'll actually warm your body and actually relax you a little bit. It'll actually pull your core temperature out to heat your extremities. So having a cold shower to cool you down afterwards would be a good idea. And then also with that, having some type of relaxation to bring the heart rate back down too. So heart rate and body temperature being brought down to cool would be the best idea for you. Okay. Now also we're saying that in regards to your caffeine intake, if you're going to be exercising in the afternoon, keep your caffeine away from sleep. Sometimes you're going to have to just not have caffeine in the afternoon, For me, no caffeine after 12 p.m. because I know if I have caffeine, it's a fucking problem and a half, I know straight away I'm going to be in a bad situation if I have caffeine because I'm not going to sleep properly. For me, I'm a slow metabolizer of caffeine. I know that. I did a little genetic test, so you can actually go and test if you are a slow or fast metabolizer. But if you're someone who's a slow metabolizer, or you just know that caffeine fucks with your sleep, do not have caffeine at nighttime, okay? Ideally, cut it from 8 hours before you go to bed. And I know that's tough for a lot of people, but it's what you've got to do, because there's nothing worse than ruining your sleep. Like, funnily enough, humans are the only fucking people that will tend to purposely forego sleep. How fucking crazy is that, right? How crazy is that we will tend to forego sleep? That is ridiculous. Because any other animal will do it, and they'll do it exactly when they need to. Yet for us, we try and forgo it. And so, trying to get the best sleep we can for performance, especially for muscle recovery, for performance, for feeling better, for more energy, all those things. Like, it's important, all right? So making sure you're keeping the caffeine away from sleep if it's affecting you. So then we're thinking about all those things during the daytime. You've got your sunlight, you've got your caffeine intake during the day to wake you up, you're exercising regularly and keeping that regular, during the day. Then when it comes to nighttime, again, having a cold shower is actually a good idea, because not only is a cold shower a good idea for, cooling down your body temperature, but we actually sleep better in the cold, okay? Now, I can't remember off the top of my head what the temperature is. I think it should be 18 degrees Celsius. I can't tell you what that is in Fahrenheit. But that's ideally what we should be sleeping in a cold environment. So having airflow in your environment is important too, especially if you are someone who is a sweater. I myself, being on testosterone replacement, fucking sweat heaps at night. So I actually have an aircon on and a fan on at night time, right? So having airflow is going to be important. Having nice and comfy, what's the word I'm trying to think of? A bed, A bed should be comfy at the end of the day, and it should be something you invest your money in. Like, I've spent so much money on a good bed, a koala mattress, a good bed frame. What else have I spent my money on? Cool, like sheets, bamboo sheets, all those things. Like, they've been so important to help me with my sleep, and they've just done a wonder. So would really recommend you make sure you put the investment in for your sleep overall, and buy a good bed, buy a good mattress, buy a good bed frame, all those type of things. Making sure your room's cool, like I said, and dark. So get blackout curtains if you can, wear a night mask, do something that's going to basically black out everything you can, because little bits of light that come in are not going to be good. Also with this, your bedroom should be for 3 things: sleeping, sex, and relaxation, okay? You do not eat in your bed. You do not do work in your bed. You do not do other things that are going to stimulate you in bed, because we have association with certain things, and we train our body to be associated with something, and it's very hard for us to change the environment, and it can actually put us in a bad place. Now, it's kind of hard for me to explain, but let's say you're training, right? When you go, let's say you're training soccer, football. When you go to train, your brain switches. All right, we're on the field, we're doing this. When you go to the gym, okay, I'm in the gym, I'm working out. When I go to work, okay, I'm in my suit, I'm in the office, it's work mode. Yet, when we go and sit in bed and we fuck around, we're now training our brain to be like, this bed is more for just relaxation and sleep and sex. It's for other things. And sometimes now your brain can't switch off because you've been doing work in bed. See? So we want to make sure we're training in that bedroom just for those main things. And again, get out, go fucking work somewhere else. Do not work if you're working at home in your bed. It's a bad thing to put yourself in. And it's so easy to roll out of bed, get on your laptop, fuck around, but it's not going to help you in the long run, okay? So association with your bed is just relaxation is basically what we should be focusing on. So you got that. So sleep, cool room, dark room, making sure your bed's for relaxing, making sure you're spending money on a good quality bed, and also trying to get off any stimulation about 45 minutes before bed. Okay, so I cut out my TV, I cut out being on the phone. All I do is listen to an audiobook and play Sudoku while I'm going to bed. That way it takes my mind away from reality. I can relax a little bit, I can just chill out, and it's really helped with me getting better night's sleep to escape reality. Because when we're thinking about things all the time and it's always on our brain, guess what? It's very easy for us to have trouble going to sleep. And the final thing I want to share with you guys is brain dumping, which has been really helpful for me. So brain dumping is basically, if you're someone who's an overthinker, getting it all out of your head as much as possible. Every little thought that comes into your brain, get it out, write it all out, get as much as you can, out on paper, because when you take it out of your brain, because your brain is not for storage, you know, when you take it out of your brain, you'll actually stop thinking about it because now you've written it down, and you'll probably sleep better, right? So they're just some tips to help you guys get some better sleep. And remember, better sleep will help performance overall. It'll help with every fucking area of your life. So make sure that you do try and prioritize sleep more. And that is your sports tip of the week.